every other day. She's going to Italy, and she's going to Turks and Caicos, and she's going to the Bahamas, and she's going to Jamaica, and she's going to Hawaii, and she went on a mountain. I mean, I don't understand where did she find this lady? Okay. Recall number 14. Recall. His attorney New sends 4/15/25 email sharing that he wouldn't be exercising our statutory continuance. Thus, it was no secret today would not be any sort of fight, but a 5-minute continuance hearing. At the hearing, John was off camera in his attorney's office during the entire meeting, making his publicity stunt, followed by a very publicized landing in LA to come to court for some dramatic hearing. All a clear facade to garner attention. I have a feeling maybe this attorney has not maybe had a father fight for their child like John does. It doesn't matter to John if it's going to be a 30-second or a 30-hour appearance. He's going to be there, and he's going to be in person to assure everything is done. Now that way he's in there, then he can handle other business while he's down there in LA, since he does other business while he's down there as well. And every single court appointment or court hearing, whatever, is a fight for his son. That's what they're in the middle of doing. And maybe, just maybe, if Bree had that same thought process, that every single court hearing was a fight for her son, maybe, I don't know, she would show up. Maybe she would act a little differently. Do you know, you're mad because John played Easter Bunny and did it so well. And then Snapchatted, getting on a packing and getting on a plane and landing, blah, 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 all for that. Guess what your client was doing the night before? Let's talk about what she posted the night before, shall we? Since we're going over what was posted online the night before. Your client posted her throwing back some shots, doing some other stuff that I cannot mention right here because I can't show my socks, so I definitely can't mention what your client was doing. And your client never went to sleep. Your client went straight from throwing it back right to go see you for court. Still on Wi-Fi. If you know, you know. So I don't know. I'm kind of thinking playing the Easter Bunny and putting that you're going to the Bahamas. Do you ever think maybe, just maybe, it's a safety risk as well? For him to not just say where he's going and flying? Potentially, could that have been? But that's not okay. But what your client, absolutely acceptable. Because I'm assuming, since you brought up what John did, I'm assuming you're going to talk about what Bree did the night before court. Bree didn't even make it home. She went from the club to the courthouse or to your office or wherever it was. So again, I'm siding with John on this one. People always say that I just side with John. It's very easy. How do you not in this situation? Let's continue. Jesus, this lady. Okay, talk about that. Attached, Exhibit L, are John's Snapchat posts. I pray hers are there too. John continues to ask for orders, re, not posting online about baby W, or this case is nearly every RFO he has filed to date. Yet he does those exact things, as does his circle of friends and fellow TikTokers and his mom, which will be addressed in Bree's responsive declaration. Oh, I can't wait for that. Yeah, I know. While we were waiting to be called this morning in court, counsel sent me John's... Let me go to page page 17. We're making progress. Proposed schedule received to date since 3/24/25 orders were put into place. He offered her a 4-hour visit to Bree on Winter's birthday, 4/26. Then nothing until Mother's Day, 5/11. The rest of the dates were offered for May through July were conveniently on or around Bree's announced trip dates. Travel for her upcoming birthday, she has spoken about on length on her live stream. I'm so literally so oh my god, I cannot. So he can't put anything out on the internet, don't do any of that, and don't stalk her, don't you watch her, don't you have your people over there, but how dare you offer her time when she's gonna be out of town? Darn it, John. So offer her time, but don't offer her time then. She doesn't ask for any time. How come she hasn't put in a request to say, hey, well, like these times, or hey, I'm going to be out of town this time. And first of all, if I only get to see my child during certain times or whatever, I'm taking whatever dates I'm getting. But yeah, Brie wants him, right. I'm really starting to think that this attorney has been sucked in by Brie and maybe has done no research on her, and I really wish that she would. And she doesn't have to do a whole lot of research, even just start with today's nonsense. Because how is John gonna know? They act like he's just sitting there all day watching her. She's on 24/7. How the hell is he gonna know when she's announced and scheduled dates? That's ridiculous. Anyways, these dates being chosen were no coincidence. God, Jesus. As shared in my response to counsel, what John is doing is clear. We will not engage in this gamemanship. And Brianna has no issue moving her travel around. Well, then what the fuck is then what's the problem? If she has it says, and Brianna has no issues moving her travels around to spend these dates with baby W. Those dates are included in our request in the RFO, as well as additional dates for April and May. If her shit is not booked, paid for, whatever, what's the problem? Jesus Trinity, this lady. I swear, I do not know if I would be able to contain myself if I had a whole court date and I had an attorney like this and I had to sit there and listen. Oh my God. I'd have to excuse myself. Judge, call me when my case is ready. God bless America. Anyways, today's post-hearing meet and comfort emails attached, Exhibit M, continue to go no place. I was still blamed by counsel for her client not submitting his intake paperwork on Friday, as her Friday email said he was doing. We also went around in more circles about Brianna's proposed schedule. I repetitively reminded counsel, as already stated multiple times in the email last week, that the monitor would not discuss open visitation times and dates with Bree until both parties' intake paperwork was done. I also kept telling her, just as I did last week, that the monitor said it takes upwards of 48 hours upon receipt of both parties' paperwork for the scheduling discussion to happen. We are now in a race against the clock for baby W's birthday as a result of John's delay. Ma'am, do you realize that your client also did not fill those out? Apparently, she had to have ET do it for her. Just thought I'd put that out there. Not that you care. Number 17. As the aforementioned outline in my emails with counsel make clear, without concrete orders that spell out a named monitor company, location of visitation, private home, public place, or visitation center, and dates of visitation, my client will never get to see her son. I declare under penalty and perjury of law of the state of California that the foregoing is true and correct to the best of my knowledge, honey. Honey, you should have done some research. I'm not sure that I would have signed that under penalty and perjury of law. What the fudge? Nikki, you cracked me up. She said, what the fudge? Wow, that was a lot of lies in there. That was a lot of misinformation in there. I truly feel like the attorney took this case for whatever reason and did not do her research. That's okay if you guys missed it. We're only on page 17 or something like that. There's 113 pages, and I will upload it to my YT because we are definitely not getting through all of this today. Penalty flag on the play. Wow. I am really, yeah, Boxman, that's what I'm wondering is, you know, and it said, remember, a Law Talk when she came up, and I mentioned it too. Remember when I read the first declaration, how the mom was, it says the mom was very vague in her information, the dad was very spot on. Well, if you have to be very vague in any type of court hearing, especially when it comes to like this, probably because you're probably leaving out a lot of information. So the fact that, I don't know. I don't know if this was just, if she's not going to get the child anyways, let me just grab the money and do the best that I can do. I really don't know. I know when I get all of these papers and information, I have to sign under penalty and perjury of law every time I get one. I'm reading absolutely everything, and I'm making sure that I know when I sign my name, that shit is as absolutely correct. Okay, so now we're into the exhibits. A lot of this is going to be the emails that we went over yesterday. Again, I'm going to read them again. Even though they gave, where's my Advil? Even though they gave me a headache because we have people here probably that were not here yesterday. Let me grab my Advil.